despite the disruption to official economic data due to the government shutdown, or maybe because of it. Joining me now is Michael Ball, Bloomberg macro strategist. So, Michael, this is fascinating because at the same time we have consumers who are facing, at the bottom end, slower wage growth and sticky inflation. Why are CEOs so confident on the economy?
I think they went in with really dire outlooks because obviously the tariff uncertainty was max going into the quarter in a lot of ways. We didn't have the China deal done. We're still seeing some peripheral deals getting done. And they weren't sure how much of that cost increase was going to actually be and also how much they would be able to pass on. So now they have a better sense of their ability to defend margins, and margins have been doing well. It's obviously different by sector to sector. We've seen that in tech having the best performance followed by healthcare. But it wasn't as bad as feared, and that's a big relief. And now looking forward, we're going to get the benefits of the one big beautiful bill. We're also going to see an easier financial conditions from the Fed easing, but also just generally from the better market conditions. And all that is helping them get a better outlook for next year.
For example, on the auto loan interest deduction, it has to be only up to $10,000 a year, only if you make less than $100,000 a year. And, the average new car costs $50,000, which people, I'm guessing, who make less than that aren't buying a new car, and it has to be a new car, and it has to be built in the U.S. Like, there's so many stipulations that it doesn't seem to matter in the end.
And on the consumer side, to your point, exactly, I've seen very varying numbers for how much money is expected to go back into the pocket of the U.S. consumer. I think one thing that's helping is the CapEx deductions are really giving a lot of confidence to where spending and costs will be on that side of the balance sheet and income statement. So overall, you're right. The consumer may not actually see as much benefit as the administration is trying to boost up, but generally the CapEx side will be better supported, and that will help. That's the worry, right? And that's what this week was sort of trying to get through. ADP today was interesting in some sense, but last week was all about Challenger and Warren bringing up cuts. These are obviously imperfect measures, and the earnings calls themselves leaned into that, saying that basically AI was replacing sort of lower skilled workers already in pockets of the economy. On top of that, when we look at NFIB today, when we look at Beige Book, this is all echoing that this no hire, no fire is sort of transitioning now into somewhat of a layoff concern. And that's why we've had the jitters in markets. Obviously, this valuation concern was on the forefront, but that alone is never enough. So I think it was this growth scare and the Fed itself pivoting to a more hawkish stance